Well, welcome everyone to our very first session of Rusthenge, Seven Dooms for Sandpoint, what will turn into Revenge of the Rune Lords, and all of the fun adjustments and changes we are going to make with this story moving forward. My name is Jericho. I will be your GM for this campaign. You all know that already. Let's hop right in.
Yeah.
The Saga lands of the Inner Sea are a storied region with a marked influence over Galarian dating back thousands of years. Long before Eredin pulled the Starstone from the sea and ascended to godhood, the ancient mages of Thassalon were exploring the fundamental nature of magic, inventing the system of rune magic and, by extension, the system of sin magic that would become the foundation of the Rune Lords and their rise to power. Although Thassalon fell when Earthfall obliterated the land, it wasn't entirely wiped out. Its ruins and people being discovered all throughout modern Varissia, the lands of the Linorm kings. In these regions, though, those who have lived here long enough knows that the past does not stay buried forever. In the last decades, the Rune Lords have each made their resurgence into the world, some of them trying to conquer this new reality for themselves, others choosing to accept the changing of the times. All of this culminating in only two of the original seven Rune Lords remaining, each of them claiming a swath of land as their own and bringing New Thassalon into play as another global power. Even with this tumultuous rise and return of the Rune Lords, that has begun to settle. The world itself has refused to give the people of this land time to rest. Heralded by the death of the war god Gorum, the War of Immortals has broken out all across the cosmos. New deities ascending and claiming their place amongst the stars, others falling, their thrones shattered by treachery and bloodshed. Now, the powers that be in the Saga lands are moving once again, staking claim to the fallen remnants of divinity, shuffling the structure of power throughout the region. We don't care about any of that right now. Our story begins far beneath the notice of these powerful and influential beings, though in time that of course may change, and our heroes will become a force that must be acknowledged and respected, or perhaps feared. We have a much humbler beginning. We begin our story in the modest town of Osprey Cove in the year 4725 AR. Located on Chakakoth Isle in the Ironbound Archipelago, Osprey Cove is a fishing village, population just surpassing 100, primarily worshipping Desna and Caden Kalian. The village has stood the test of time, surviving even as the region has changed ownership and fallen under the dominion of New Thassalon. While visitors to the island are few and far between, perhaps it is fate at work that at such a time as this, a collection of visitors have all arrived. We start our story one stormy evening in mid spring. We catch up to a trio of travelers making their way south along the coast, arriving at the edge of this tiny town. The lights from the buildings just barely emanating through the rain, even though it is evening and people should be perhaps resting or celebrating, depending on how the town operates. It is starkly quiet, except for the pattering of rain and your footsteps through the muck. Beginning one at a time, Click Clock, would you please describe your character to us?
Yeah, it's raining.
It is.
Yes, the rain patters off of a metallic face and arms. He looks to be un. He is weirdly human. in his face. I think. I think he looks as puzzled as any human might at this time, uncertain of what to do next. He is flanked uh, by his larger, similarly appearing compatriot. His assistant, less personality on this secondary character, much more menacing in appearance, um, and he is simply lost in thought as he follows along with Ragwin.
Fantastic. Speaking of which, your small companion traveling through the rain with you, Ragwin, would you please describe your character to us?
Yeah, I'm an umbral gnome. Because it's raining, I'm grabbing onto my hat to like cover myself from the rain and trying to walk fast. Um, I also look a little bit lost without no idea what to do next. I'm just kind of moving to a tavern right now, I think,
Fair
thinking on what to
enough.
do.
Yeah, the two of you and assistant, of course, have been traveling for the better part of the day uh, from deep inland where you were attempting to seek out and explore somewhere that, unfortunately, what little information you have was nowhere near enough to determine the exact location of. So, probably a bit cold, gross from the rain, maybe even covered in muck and mud, and perhaps even the dried blood of a monster or two you had to fend off on your journey here. You have arrived at the edge of this village, making your way down the coastline where you can see the lights here and there. You don't see any movement in the relatively dim light that is this evening at this point in time.
We're finally here. This has been a dreadful experience. Have have we been here before?
You two may have passed through here very briefly on your way inland, but you probably didn't fully stay the night here. You just stopped in, maybe grabbed a bit of supplies, and moved on.
I think we should seek out the tavern immediately. This has been
I,
this rain is getting to me.
Yes, I just hope we find a cheap room. I don't have
Yeah.
much of money right now.
Yes, I had a fair bit myself, but it seems to be running dry after recent events, unfortunately. Let's
Yeah?
get out of here.
As the two of you make your way into the town proper. You've been here once before, so you probably have a decent layout. It is mostly small homes. There was seemingly like a communal building near the center of town itself. You do recall a single tavern by the name of the Wavestone, somewhere right around here the last time you were in, so you can certainly make your way over there.
Mhm. Yeah, just quickly hurrying by.
Absolutely. The pair of you and your assistant making your way into town down the main road and quickly heading in and pushing this door open is not a large affair. It's a
This way.
relatively, yeah, it's this building right here.
Nice.
Making your way into the tavern itself. It's a relatively simple affair. There is a large hearth currently aflame that immediately sets some warmth into your bones and servos as you open the door and step in. Taking a quick look around at the maybe half dozen tables that are here, most of them appear about half full, maybe one or two people apiece, conversing quietly amongst themselves, enjoying a drink, having finished their daily work. Many of them do sort of affect a look over towards the door just to see who is coming in, but failing to recognize you, few of them actually even linger, most of them seemingly just accepting that a trio of strangers are heading into their local tavern. You do see a bar back behind the wall with a relatively small stock of alcohol. It's nothing particularly impressive, but there is a middle-aged human woman with braided blonde hair currently standing behind it, filling up a few mugs. And as you open the door and step in, she'll look up, smile on her face. Ah, travelers! Welcome to the Wavestone.
It's wonderful to be here. Thank you for the greeting. I
Of
appreciate
course.
it.
Of course. Let's see. She takes like a quick look around. Tolvin, Nella, would the pair of you please just go sit with Old Welland for a moment? We need an extra table. Two other what appear to be halflings who were off on the table will be like, "Of course, Ordwy," and they'll get up and head to one of the other tables and leave an opening for you guys. Please find a seat. I'll be over in just a minute to find out what you're looking for.
So, nice individuals. You seem to have found the right place, Ragwin.
It seems so.
Take a seat.
Yeah, after about 20, 30 seconds of sitting down, this Ordwy fellow will step
the
on.
assistant is standing, not menacing, but you know, as
Just-
an assistant would.
Yeah, just standing at attention off to the side.
Yeah.
There is certainly a seat for assistant if you wished.
Nah.
Okay, fair.
He's
Yeah.
stoic.
As the two of you sit down, maybe 30 seconds or so pass before Ordwy makes her way over to the table, puts down a pair of mugs in front of you. Seems to actually hesitate for a moment as she goes to put a mug down in front of you, click clock, but still decides to just set it down. So, what can I get for you all today? Are you looking for a meal, for a drink?
This will do fine, thank you. I appreciate it. I like to play pretend, you know?
Of course, certainly.
Do you have?
I'm sorry?
What cocktail do you have to eat?
Sorry, repeat that one more time for me.
Food. What food do you have? What
Well,
are you serving?
we have a regular fish stew on the menu tonight, but we also have some fresh baked breads, and generally we have a little bit of lamb that we keep off on the side, number of herb-grown vegetables.
Put the vegetables in some of that fish food.
Of course.
Damn it.
I believe she is currently serving Ragwin and Click Clock. You have not quite entered
I'll
the scene
have
yet,
a-
Cacao.
A nail and whatever you have for the cheapest meal.
Cheapest meal, certainly. We can certainly take care of that. Wonderful. You wouldn't happen to be looking for a room, would you?
We are, yes.
Yes. How much would that run us, perhaps?
Well, a bit of an unfortunate situation. Our only room is currently in use by some other travelers, actually. We don't have much in the way of nice lodging, but I would happily lend you room on the floor. I can bring some pillows and blankets if you needed a place to sleep with a roof over your heads tonight.
I think Click Clock would look to Ragwin as he doesn't need that much sleep anyway. So
I would like that. I don't want to sleep in the rain. Please.
Certainly, yes. Of course, of course. Give me just a few moments here, and I will get those meals on the fire and bring them out shortly. Are you sure there's nothing you need to drink? She looks at you, Click Clock.
this rain has been getting to me. Do you have perhaps some oils or something about I could use to?
I have some cooking oils. Not sure if that's the type you're looking for.
That would do fine. In this scenario, the rain, we've been traveling in quite some time. My gears are
not as running as well as they normally do.
Certainly, I will fill up a mug and bring that out with the meal.
Yes.
She heads off to back of the kitchen to begin preparing these meals as the two of you find yourself in this warm tavern with relatively quiet conversation about, even with perhaps a dozen people in here, it is not loud enough that people need shout or even raise their voices to be heard. People are able to have conversations at just a relatively normal volume with one another. But the two of you find yourself at this tavern if there's anything you would like to do while waiting for your meal.
No. I don't know where we're supposed to look next, Ragnar. I appreciate that you've been with me all this time.
Well, perhaps we can ask around.
Yes, the locals might have something. We visit the modern town of. Sorry, let me see. How do you say this? Zin Adasaril?
Sin Adasaril.
Zin Adasaril. But we couldn't find anything. But you never know. In folklore, you can find interesting facts, and perhaps these individuals will have folklore we could learn from.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What can I get some more detail on why specifically we're in this town? Or is it just on the way to where we're at? And are we an experienced group? Have we worked together before?
Well, this
What are-
is where everyone is meeting for the first time, so each person has their own reasons while they are currently arriving here in town, so not everyone even knows each other so far. So right now it is just Click Clock and Ragwin that have arrived together from their previous journeys.
Yeah, we planned out our backstory last week a little bit, so we're connected.
Okay. Okay. Then Kaka will be looking around, very curious. He's probably never been in close contact with an automaton of any kind, and he appears to be very, very curious about the nature of the creature, and just in general. He seems to be very observant, very much interested in what's going on everywhere.
Sure.
So he's hanging out in the bar, or
Yeah, so as you are here in the tavern as well and have noticed these strange new arrivals, Krakow, would you give us a brief description of what your character looks like?
Okay, he's basically dressed for the road, explorer type outfit, nothing particularly religious or mage like. He's got a hooded cloak that's been up until he got clear of the rain. He tossed it back. He's a half elf. Typical of the breed, nothing particularly odd about it in terms of appearance. He's carrying a shield. But otherwise is armed with a looks like a dagger and a crossbow that he sets to the side on the table. And other than that, he looks like somebody's been on the road a while, and he's happy to not be on the road right now.
Awesome. So yes, you've probably, I would imagine, perhaps at this point, been here for maybe an hour or so, perhaps since before the rain started falling. Came in, managed to get a meal, and have been perhaps sitting at the bar or at a table of your own, relaxing when these folks came in.
Yeah. If there's anyone that I could talk to about the region, if the bartender or the waitress has had a few moments, he will have questions.
Sure.
Appears to be very interested in the area, what its nature is, the people. He seems to be somewhat cultured and interested in any that they can tell him.
Sure, yeah. I mean, they'd be happy to give you a brief rundown, but Ordwe here, when you came in and had a moment to speak with you, would have explained to you that you are currently in the town of Osprey Cove, one of two sister towns here on Chakakoth Isle. Their original founders both hailed from Riddleport far to the south, where they had been in servitude to a few of the crime lords there and managed to flee during a major storm, made their way here, founded their respective towns, but eventually disagreeing about what the future should bring, they separated. Osprey Cove being a much more relaxed and communal town, mostly focusing on fishing and occasional trade with passing ships that will help to sustain them, while Iron Harbor to the east is a bit more militaristic. They worshipped the war god Gorum, though Ordwe is uncertain as to their current situations considering the death of the god just last year. There was not really any conversation held between the two towns, as generally they don't like each other.
Okay. What's the nature of the clientele?
Fishers. There's a mixture of young adults as well as people up to near retirement age as well.
I mean, is this a port town itself? Is it on the water? Are there sailors around, ships coming and going?
It is a small port town, so there are a few ships. There are not any large ships right now. There are mostly fishing boats along the docks, but they do have a single large dock for any larger vessels that might come through to trade with. But for the most part, they are a self-sufficient fishing village on the water's edge.
After that, thank you.
Well, as all of you are currently in the tavern here, we've got two more figures that are going to make their way perhaps out of the one room the inn has for travelers, those who have been here the longest, still though only a few days themselves, but managed to find companionship in a strange way and are sharing the only available room at this inn. Brend, would you please describe your character to us?
Yep. So Brand is a fairly tall, fairly lean, though on the athletic side, human, dressed kind of in pretty battered clothing, I imagine. Some distinct, probably still redness around the wrists, and a couple notable scars on his face. Long shoulder-length hair, and he is wearing a breastplate, and possibly in his room somewhere there is stashed a very rusted and battered-looking falchion, as he's probably in the process of getting ready to head down.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, the individual you have been sharing a space with, who may or may not have saved your life, Rannog, would you please describe your character to us?
Absolutely. Oddly enough, he's a tall human with shoulder-length hair, wears breastplate.
Oh my
That
god,
is- What have we done? Uncanny. He does have very red hair, a very freckled complexion, and probably if Brand is lean, Rannig would be a little bit bulkier. He has a pretty jovial air about him. He likes to perform when he can, but he also has this look of like his attention is broken, or he's thinking about something when he shouldn't be. It just sort of hits him in the middle of conversation, in the middle of performing, in the middle of really anything. He wields a massive war flail strapped to his side. And like I said, the breastplate. And that is him. Yeah, go ahead.
Does Ranug have an instrument on him?
Nope.
Okay.
He doesn't play instruments.
Interesting. Well, as the two of you sort of, whatever it is you were doing earlier today, perhaps helping out with the fishing to earn a bit of coin, perhaps simply resting, getting your strength back after your recent ordeals, or just generally taking a look around town and chatting with some people. It's been a relatively calm day for the pair of you, but as it is now evening, you find yourselves perhaps making your way down after a quick wash up to grab dinner for yourself.
Great.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, Brent, you'll have to remind me. I can't seem to remember if you had any gold on you.
Hold on. And Brand will kind of, rummage through everything he has and then eventually produce 1 gold and 6 silver pieces. I've got this.
All right, that should be enough for a meal here. Only one way to find out.
Good. They'll kind of raise a thumbs up and give a half smile.
I'll just boom out. What's the lady's name again? The
Ordwi.
proprietor?
Yeah.
Ordwi?
Yes, Ordwi.
All right, he'll just holler out, Ordwi, could we have a table for 2, please?
Just a moment. And she'll sort of come running out of the kitchen as she sees the two of you making your way down the stairs. Funny enough, the two of you have been here long enough. You know a meal is only 1 silver. It is.
I just forget sometimes.
For a full meal. If you're looking for just the food or just a drink, you're looking in the range of copper pieces. Things are pretty simple here.
I have a simple explanation, Randog. What's your intelligence?
Probably 0.
Yeah, mine's 0.
That's we
didn't remember so well. All
Fantastic. You are perfectly
Perfect
average. She comes running out of the kitchen, sort of wiping her hands down with a rag, takes a quick look around, spots the table, realizes she already asked Tovin and Nayla to move to other seats, looks concerned about asking others to move, but she sort of eyes the other 2 travelers that have just arrived and perhaps gets an idea in her head. And she'll run over to Click Clock and Ragwin. Terribly sorry, you two. Food's almost done, for one. Here's your drinks. Do you mind sharing a table? It's fairly communal around here, but of course I don't want to force you if you're not comfortable with it.
That seems perfectly amenable. Absolutely.
I don't mind.
Fantastic. Rannog, Brent, over here, these two have... they are more than willing to share a table with you.
Yes, my assistant does not need a seat, He can stand watch as we enjoy our meals together, as creatures do.
I'm mildly concerned by the way you just said that. I'm going to not look into it terribly deeply, though.
I don't eat food. I will admit, it's not necessary for me. But I am just like you, just a little different. That is all.
Brand, you hear Rannig mutter under his breath, just my luck. But yeah, I'll go sit by them if there's room.
There's 4 chairs per table, so there's easily space for you two to flip out a chair and sit down with them. And as she's looking confused at Clicklock for a moment, she'll see the two of you sit down. So, what are we looking for tonight? Drinks, food, just sticking with water? How are we looking? How are you healing up, Brand?
Still alive. Can't complain.
Well, silver lining.
I'll just take the usual, Ordwi.
Usual?
Yeah, I'll pass the 2 silvers. Just, same.
Oh, fantastic. They'll be right out. she'll like stop by one or two other tables, grab cups that need refills, and make her way back into the back. She doesn't have anyone else working here with her, and the two of you by now are well aware that Ordwe is one of this town's elders as well. Pretty much the youngest elder and relatively young herself, but is very much beloved by most of the townsfolk here.
Mm.
So, the four of you are left sort of sitting awkwardly around this table, drinks in hand, and strangers.
I apologize for the alarming situation. The rain has been dreadful. Did you say that you were injured? Are you feeling all right? Something happened?
No, I'm fine. Couple of days ago, shipwrecked, but like I said, I'm still alive. So can't be too bad, can it?
Yeah. Does he look like visibly wounded?
He. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, go ahead. That is up to you. Are you hiding any injuries right now, or do you think you're fully healed?
Probably still like notable that he was recently injured. Like some of the scars definitely look fresh, but healed up decently well. You do notice, I guess, if you look at him and he kind of moves his hands around to drink, that is like what looks at first glance to be like braces, sliding up and down each of his hands, and as you like pay more close attention, it becomes obvious that they are remnants of shackles.
If there's an injury you have, I would be happy to take a look at it. I know I seem like an unusual medicinal man, but my guild master would get up to all sorts of trouble, and I would help take care of his wounds when necessary.
No, it's fine. Renak looked after me, and it's all good.
Oh, that's
I've
not,
survived worse.
I see. Well, seem quite durable. It's good for you.
You're not made of meat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Is there any sign of injuries or what might be going on?
Go ahead and give me a perception check. And so perception will be on the left side of your character sheet. It should always be blind, pretty much. So you can click that little button. It's the slashed through eye to roll.
Slashed through eye. I'm missing that one.
Yeah, on your character sheet.
Should be right underneath your AC.
My perception is 5, plus 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a roller?
Yep. If you where you have that +5, you see a little dice button and an eye with a slash through it.
Okay. I know. Yep.
Yep. And you can click either of those. It'll pull up the roll dialog, and you want to make sure the roll mode is set to blind GM.
Nice.
Fantastic. Taking a quick look over Brend here, you do see evidence of recent injury. Nothing that seems like it is healing improperly or is particularly life-threatening, but there are definitely a few scars and areas of large bruising.
Okay. Any fresh blood? Does it look like something that might have happened recently? I do have mental.
It does look like it happened in the last few days, probably.
Okay. Just at a guess, is it something that I would consider serious? From what I can see.
It looks like the injuries were probably pretty serious when they occurred, but they have been treated and have healed, and it is mostly just leftover cosmetic damage at this point.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
Fair.
Rannick beat him up so bad.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
kidding.
Daily sparring
Not at all.
sessions.
That's right.
Naturally.
The barbarian
yeah, no,
loses.
No, that's gonna happen. Um,
Go on.
no, I was. Were you done, Bob?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rannig is gonna say, well, around here it's usually customary to begin with introductions. My name's Rannig. He looks at like Click Clock specifically when he's directing this. Nice to meet you.
Yes, my apologies. Yes, my name is Click Clock, and this is my assistant. Pleasure to make your acquaintance, Rannog.
Thank you. And there's two of you, is there? He's looking at assistant and Click Clock. That's just grand. I love that so much.
Yes, I promise you, I am quite different than those of my ilk. Most commonly, I know they can tend to be very stoic or dangerous, perhaps, but I am just a nice individual, just like your average townsperson.
Right. And what about this quiet little gnome here?
Oh, I'm Ragwin, and I can vouch for Click Clock. He's very nice.
And I can vouch for Randwin. He's been an excellent compatriot.
That's great. Well,
see, I'm just a normal, nice robot. You don't have anything to be concerned about. I feel like I'm justifying myself too much and might be more concerning. Perhaps I should shut up now.
I don't know about Brand, but where I'm from, the most technologically advanced we have are horses and plows.
Very useful devices, no doubt.
Where I'm from, we don't even have that.
See, we're just not used to this.
Yes, well, I'm used to being unusual. I don't know where I'm from either. That's kind of why I'm out here. I'm trying to search for my origin. I have reason to believe it has to do with ruins that might be nearby.
Does your friend there have a name? Hey, pointing at assistant.
He is simply my assistant.
No, let him speak for himself.
He cannot speak, unfortunately. He's got a name, but I just call him my assistant. I can't remember what it is, to be honest.
So, a funny question for you, Click Clock. Technically, assistant can speak. He is programmed with the common tongue.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And at this point, assistant surprises even you.
Wow.
He has remained silent since you built him.
Oh,
Never spoken before.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah, because eventually you get the miracle gears, which says like, oh, he can now speak. So I didn't think he could. If he can, I'm totally happy.
Yeah, construct companions inherently have the common tongue.
Okay, if he could speak, can I role play him then?
Sure.
Yeah. Click Clock is unsure. He's like, I'm not sure that he can speak it up. My name, assistant. Well, I forgot I installed a voice modulation. Yes, that is him. He's not the most coherent individual.
See.
Right around now, Ordby comes rushing out with a couple plates full of food and lays them down on the table in front of each of you who ordered something to eat. For sort of like wiping the sweat off of her brow for a moment. There's the food. Anything else I can get any of you? Any refills necessary so far? Doesn't look like it.
Not really.
I'm quite fine.
All right. Well, I'll be right over here at the bar if you need anything. Feel free to call out. And she'll make her way back to the bar just to fill a few more drinks that have emptied in the time that she was cooking. And leave you all to your meals.
Rannick is going to keep looking at assistant and Click Clock, and I'll lean over to Brand and sort of say in a soft voice, I'm going to have the hardest time telling them two apart.
I think that one's a bit shorter. It's hard to tell. He's sitting down.
It's so hard to tell.
So, what brought you out here anyway? No offense to this place, but not much to find here. Also, did you get here by boat? We've been looking for a way out off the island for a while now.
I assume we traveled here probably on some random like ship. that
Yeah,
shipped out
you
here.
because you started out at Sinadacero, which is on an island to the east. And from there would have taken a small, just charted boat, probably to the northern end of the island where they dropped you off, and have just been sort of mucking about in the wilderness since.
Yeah. Well, I I'm as mysterious to myself as I am to you. I'm here to seek. I've reason to believe I may be connected to the old ruins of. Fuck, I gotta find this again.
Sindaceril.
Sin Idasiru. But these ruins are elusive. I went to the modern city, but learned very little. And me and Bragwin have been searching high and low for these ruins, but we haven't found anything. It's been quite painful, and the weather got so terrible we thought we would need to collect ourselves at the local village. And here we are. Do you know anything about this ruin, perhaps? Have you stumbled upon it in your time here?
I've only ever heard of one Sinadacerel, and that one's on the mainland.
Yes, well, the original was here. Is what I was told, anyway. Somewhere on this island.
If anyone is observing, Krakow will have probably noticeably perked up at the mention of things like ruins at the, if I can hear it, nearby table.
Oh, yeah.
How close I am.
That's
No one's
probably why.
being.
Anybody who's observing, that will have gotten his attention. He'll be attempting to listen in on conversation without being overly
All right.
rude about it.
I don't know. Was I observing? GM?
You do notice, especially like as the food is dropped off and your eyes just sort of trained to be aware of anyone who might sneak up on you, catches Ordwy making her way back behind the bar, and you do see this other individual sort of sitting at the bar who has now like definitely turned his body at more of a 45-degree angle away from the bar and is looking in your guys' direction as you guys are having this conversation. It's not particularly quiet that you guys are talking, so it's anyone could listen in without much issue.
Conclux.
I will.
loud.
I'll meet his eyes. Like we'll lock eyes, and I'll give him the the head nod from dudes who haven't met each other, like the up head nod. Like what's up?
Classic.
What's up?
Aha. So, being very charismatic and all those things associated with it, Krakow will sort of take that as a cue, and he will stand up, grab his drink, and stroll casually over to the table and say, "Excuse me, I couldn't help but hear that you have possibly some nearby ruins, a subject that fascinates me, and I am always on the lookout for any new experiences, whether they be geographical or arcane or even occult. And
Would you-
ruins frequently have elements of all those. Would you mind if I listened in? I don't want to be rude.
Absolutely. Any expert on such things is welcome here. I'm searching for information myself. There should be some ruins nearby of old Sinadesiril. It's an old capital of Thassalon. It should be here. You haven't heard anything about such ruins, have you?
I don't know. GM?
Go ahead and give me a recall knowledge for this.
Which kind?
Recall knowledge, which the way to do so is pretty simple. If you have your token selected, go ahead and hit 2, which is the basic action macros on your hotbar. That has all of the sort of basic things you can do, and it should be right about at the top of the second or of the third column for you is recall knowledge. And nothing will show up in chat for you, but it will roll and show up all of the
We're
relevant
talking
skills for
about
me.
in Foundry?
Yep.
Okay, because I don't know if all that's been entered yet. What
Uh,
tab would that be on?
If so, that is going to be. It does not look like your skill proficiencies have been added in as of yet.
Yeah, I'm in the
Uh,
process.
That's okay. What is
Well, I mean, I
your?
can look it up on the Hero Lab. So
Yeah.
what would it be under?
What is your society modifier right now? That would be the relevant skill for this.
Society +5.
+5, perfect. Recon knowledge is a blind roll, of course, so I will go ahead and see
And
what
then
you
I
get here.
also have Academia Lore, if for some
Perfect.
reason that would apply.
In this
That's
case,
what-
that actually would apply. Is that also a +5?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So that'll actually reduce the DC ever so slightly. You have heard of Sinadasseril before, being the capital of one of the different realms of ancient Thassalon. And it is rumored that it was very, very, very long ago, about 10,000 years ago, originally located here on Chakakoth Isle. But that is really, as far as you've been able to discover, nothing more than hearsay and rumors. You have not found any actual proof of it existing here.
Okay. Okay. I will relay what little I know. And say, yes, I have heard of the possibility of its existence and in this area, but I do not have any additional information. But I would be happy to go in search of it.
Well, it seems you don't know much more than I do, but I would welcome the assistance. The more the merrier. It's a difficult place out there. Me and Ragwin have run into much trouble. We had to patch him up once or twice as we tussled with the local wildlife. It was terrifying.
Indeed.
It's not that easy to get in there.
Sorry, what's that?
Oh yeah, go ahead, Danny.
That's all I said. That is not easy to get in there.
Yeah.
Rand will say, can we get the half elf a chair? Does this machine turn into a chair?
I suppose he could. Assistant? Please, chair formation?
He just lays on the ground.
I don't know what you want from me.
Yes.
One of the other nearby tables that does have an extra chair, one of their figures will stand up. A young man in just decent clothing, who probably also came in recently from the rain and is still sort of sopping over the floor, will stand up. We've got an extra chair here. You're more than welcome to take it.
Thank you.
Probably more comfortable than the assistant anyways.
Like
Well,
hardwood, uncomfortable chairs, but still better than pointy metal, I suppose.
We'll grab that chair for the half elf. And Ranag will introduce himself. Hi, the name's Ranag.
Yes, and I'm Click Clock.
I thought we already went over this.
Well, I don't know. He chastised me for not introducing myself. This is the tradition of the locals. I wanted to make sure this new individual. Sorry, I'm rambling again.
So
You're doing great, Click Clock.
then allow me to introduce myself. I'm Krakow of Arcadia. And I have traveled long to get here and have a long ways yet to go. So I know not my destination at the moment.
I'm wondering. Quite curious.
Or Arcadia, you said. Has anyone else here been to Arcadia? At our table.
Great question.
I don't think so.
I'm probably going to go out on a limb and just say an inherent no for most of you. So that is a completely different continent, pretty far to the west from here.
Like the New World.
And just for DM, I picked that off the list without any experience with the Pathfinder 2E character.
That
So if that
is
is
a-okay.
impossibly illogical, then we don't need it. But otherwise, he could easily have come from
It
God knows where here.
Arcadia absolutely works. It's a different continent to the west. It is kind of the birthplace, actually, of firearms in modern Galarian, to an extent. It's sort of the Mad Max continent would be the easiest way to describe it. It's not quite accurate, but that's the simplest depiction I could give. People turn monsters into guns over there. We don't talk about them. If you've ever looked at Beast Gunner as an archetype, they're from Arcadia.
Wow.
Okay. That sounds like are the construct might be have some ties there indirectly to technology.
That's a certain possibility.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't learned much about Arcadia, and I consider that for my origin, but I recently learned that there's a certain rune in me that associates to the Thassalon history, Zinedasaril. I don't know if I'm just...
Quite fascinating. The history of all these lands over here that I've so far is quite fascinating as well. I look forward to learning all there is to know.
Yes, fellow
But
intellectual.
let's get back to these ruins. What information have you gleaned of them? Possible location or clues that might lead us in the direction?
They are here on this continent, and we have looked through a lot of land, not successfully. I don't have much more than that, unfortunately, but I believe in resourcefulness, and perhaps there's some rumor about that will assist us in our search.
I have recall knowledge. I don't
Yep.
know if you're familiar with that.
Yeah, that is
that is a trait that
that is the general role to see what you would know about the situation. So that will typically be a variety of skills, things like society, arcana, occultism. Any lore skills can be relevant to recall knowledge. I will typically be asking for a recall knowledge pretty frequently, just whenever you're uncertain about something and go, hey, do I know about this? That's recall knowledge. It's our favorite button to use.
Yes, good button.
It's a great button. Actually, speaking of which, this is probably a perfect time for it. Click Clock, will you go ahead and give me a recall knowledge?
Oh yeah, I guess I should see if I know things about what I'm talking about. Okay.
Yes, goals.
I need you to know I hate you. Just putting that out there.
20.
You did. First 20 of our campaign, everyone.
Oh shit. Okay.
Hell,
you know everything you need to know. Adventure's over.
Like, I know my origin. I'm done.
Some bitch.
I'm going to leave.
I would say, because of that role, you have a bit more information that helped you whittle down the search area, which unfortunately you still haven't found the ruins, but generally from the information that had been shared to you back in the town you came from, I'll play mildly coy about where that is for now out of spite. The ruins of Sinister are about a 20-hour trek north of the Kindred Coast, is the rumor that you had been told. Osprey Cove, where you are right now, being on the Kindred Coast.
So we headed there and couldn't find shit.
Not as of yet.
I have a proximate location of the ruins, or at least from what I've been told from certain individuals. It should be about 20 miles north of here, and we looked through the land thoroughly, but we couldn't find anything.
Not 20 miles, 20 hours.
20 hours.
Yeah, it's like 20 hours of
miles is pretty
walking,
far.
theoretically.
Slow walking. Go 20 miles.
Yeah. it's 20 hours of walking to get there and back here. It's been quite a day. Well, a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. We've been out there for quite a while.
You did the whole journey there and back, all 20 hours in each direction in one day. Perfect.
Well, my origin's mysterious. I came out of the ocean. My memory gears are all out of whack. Perhaps my time sense is a little screwed up as well. But we've been there for a while. I know that for sure.
Rannoch's chewing, but he'll hold up a hand for a second, and then he'll swallow. And be like, all right, so I see why Krakow, why you're going to these ruins. I see why you, Click-Clack, are going to these ruins, but why Gnome, Ragwin? What do these ruins mean to you?
Why gnome?
I find myself wondering that often, I was going to say.
I always do that, just call things by their ancestry.
I'm just hoping some information I'm searching for is there.
Yes.
Just, I'm not really sure, but I'm hoping.
We have a sort of a deal worked out. I help him, he helps me. I don't know what he's searching for exactly, but he's been very helpful.
That sounds interesting. I wish you all the best in your journey.
Yes.
You guys are not interested in the ruins?
Brent, what are you interested in?
I need to find a boat. As long as we get to a boat, that's all I'm looking for.
I'm sure we could find one.
We just want off this. I'm talking British now. We just want off this island.
Look at Click-Clack.
You said you was from Sandpoint, did you?
Did I say that? I think I did.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said that.
Oh, did I? I feel like I did.
We can say it's come up.
Yes, well, I am from Sandpoint, which is where, again? A different island, or...?
It is far to the south on the mainland in Varissia,
Okay.
which is the country south of here.
Yes, well, Sandpoint is a place in Varissia, which is where I was from, more or less. I mean, I don't know where I was from before that, but that is where I've been for my coherent life, my conscious life, as of late. Yes, this is where I'm from. I'm sure there will be another boat here eventually.
That's good. I need to get to Varissia eventually.
Really? Perhaps if you help me, I can help you return to Varissia.
Kind of study you.
How? How exactly?
Well, I'm quite ingenuitive. I mean, I'm sure I could construct a boat if necessary, though I don't know all the ins and outs of boat construction. It might take me some time to sort it out, but I'm sure I can figure it out. I'm an inventor, as you see, as my guild master has denoted me. My mind is filled with all kinds of technological knowledge. I could construct a boat, perhaps, but it would take me some time if I could figure it out.
I'm going to...
Or maybe, we find something expensive in the ruins to get
yes.
the money for the ship.
That might be more reliable. I'm not saying I can invent a boat. I'm more like saying Click-Clack's overconfident.
Yeah. I gathered.
I
I love it.
4 silver and a dream. That's enough to make a boat.
Yeah.
Ragwin, I'm going to interrupt us slightly here to ask you to go ahead and give me a blind either perception or occultism check, your choice.
Okay.
For fun reasons.
In the meantime, Krakow is casting new cantrip.
The most impressive cantrip there is.
That's incredible.
Oh, is that showing up there? I'm actually trying to add my spells to the spell list.
Yeah.
That is not intuitive at all.
If you pull up the compendium browser, which is one on your hotbar, and find the spells you're looking for, you can just drag and drop them from there to your spell sheet. And it'll add them that way.
Okay,
yeah. Same for adding things like feats.
Okay.
Theoretically,
Okay.
Foundry works on just drag and drop.
Okay. All right.
Foundry is
Well,
made of spaghetti code, though, so sometimes it doesn't work.
yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
If you're struggling with it, feel free to just shoot me a message with your spells. That should be there, and I can probably add them pretty quick to your sheet.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, feel free to interrupt.
Well,
We're here to play.
Everybody else, you know, so critical to the moment.
Fair. So a couple things here. First and foremost, fun little thing, just for reference sake, from where you guys are right now to Sandpoint down in Varisia, if you were to take it in a straight line, cutting through some islands to get there, it's about 540 miles away. A reasonable distance for a 4 silver boat,
Yeah.
I think.
A long time at sea.
Ragwin.
Pretty long time, yeah.
Yes.
As you are sitting here, perhaps enjoying the meal, listening to this conversation between these other folks that have sat down around you and Click Clock, you find your eyes consistently being drawn to that individual Brend who sat down. And every time you look at him, there is a feeling you get. It's a similar feeling that you have experienced on the road, especially back when you were on your own, as if your hackles are rising slightly, goosebumps are appearing on your skin. You are currently reacting to a type of effect that you are in some way or another protected from. Does that make sense to you based off
Yeah,
of...
that makes sense.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too much detail because I want to leave some secrets and all that's fun. But you are recognizing the presence of something. It's not actively going after you. You are simply recognizing its presence.
Brand, was it?
Yeah, that's my name.
Where did you say you're from?
Oh, north. I'm from Thanelands, one of the Lenorn kingdoms. Or, well, yeah, I'm from there.
And just from like a simple inspection, can I like see anything more, or just the feeling that I got?
It's just the feeling at this point in time. You don't notice anything, especially visually present, that would belie the situation any further to you. Just a feeling almost of, I don't want to say camaraderie in a sense, but of someone who might be in a semi-similar situation to yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, well, though I did technically come here from New Thessalon. I was on a boat.
Yes, gather that much. No, sorry.
I think he likes boats.
The boats are real important, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't go so well. It ran aground not far off the coast. Storm, you see.
It's quite unfortunate. Washed up out of the ocean not too long ago. Well, I don't know how long ago it was. Years? A couple of years, I think. Maybe?
Is your internal clock that fucked?
Well, my name is Click Clock, so I should know the time, I guess.
Does your kind not rust?
Well, my kind can rust. Me kind doesn't seem to rust quite as much. Though some oil will keep me running a little more smoothly than usual. Speaking of which, Click Clock's gonna get a rag and start like deodoring himself with oil, basically.
The cooking oil you were given?
Yeah.
Awful, I hate it. Fantastic. Absolutely immaculate.
Like, I'm going to have to get some better oil soon. This won't work very well for long, but for now, this is quite refreshing.
I love the face cam. This is
Nope, don't love that depiction.
So you just drink it, or just like rubbing it on yourself?
well, my voice modulation doesn't come from a mouth, much like yours, so there's nothing to put it in.
Does that help?
Yes,
What you're doing?
just a little bit. Yeah, it's perhaps like when you might use a special ointment in order to soothe your dry skin. It's similar to that.
With this ruin expedition, is that liable to be dangerous?
Yes, the wildlife was a little bit difficult for us to deal with. We couldn't stay out there with what we had, unfortunately.
Is there other dangers there that we know of?
Based off of your recall knowledge from earlier, history.
Given the maps.
Nat 20, yeah.
History suggests that Old Sinadasra was built on top of extremely plague-ridden swamps that even divine spellcasters could not cleanse. You haven't come across any of those yet, and that's like 10,000-year-old plague-ridden swamps, so who knows what they're like nowadays.
It's said in ancient times that swamps were ridden with plagues and such. I did not see such signs while I was looking around. I have no doubt it's a non-issue, but it could be dangerous. Perhaps it would be ignorant of me to not consider that possibility. But the wildlife itself is quite rambunctious.
I don't think you would want me with you if it's dangerous. It's not going to be good for anyone.
Well, I mean, what are you? Would you side with the danger? I'm confused. You could be at least a distraction for the bear.
Just
Get a joke. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
I don't. I don't want to. It's just I'm a little concerned, I guess.
I see.
Speaking of which, Ranog, Brend.
Oh.
Wait, no, sorry, my name's Sug. This is Ranog that I want. As our only person trained in religion, can you please give me a religion check? This can be public.
Okay, I don't want anybody to know how bad this is going to be.
It's going to be amazing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Here you go, people. Not great.
Perfectly average. Okay.
I know things about religion, apparently.
More than I do.
You do not notice or sense anything as of right now.
Just gonna eat my food. Drink
Question
my
the
ale.
people around you. Yeah. At this point, it is beginning to get late. Probably around 9-10 p.m., we'll say. So, I'd assume perhaps the meal has wrapped up, and maybe if you are still sitting and chatting with one another, then you have drinks and are just sort of relaxing. Many people at this point have sort of packed up and gone home, leaving you all and Ordwe as some of the only people still here at the inn. But if there is anything else any of you would like to do, any further conversations you would like to have, you are welcome to do so.
Rally. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should it come up, I would be delighted to help you with any repairs that you might need along the way. I happen to have a toolkit with me. It's basically the crafting repair toolkit, and he has knowledge along those lines. So he would be very interested probably annoyingly so, in working with the guy to, get a chance to study the workings as it.
Would you consider yourself well versed in clockwork mechanisms?
But not blockwork mechanisms per se, but equipment and engine things of let's see what's the appropriate skill there.
Well, nevertheless, it's exciting to have a fellow craftsman on board. Very exciting. And this is my greatest creation yet. Assistant. He is my clockwork. Any good inventor has an assistant. I created him nearly out of scratch myself. I would be happy to show you exactly how his inner workings.
Oh, I would be amazingly impressed and appreciative. Such knowledge is
Can't
Right.
just offer to show a stranger my inner workings on first meeting.
Said I didn't know he was going to be this having this much personality.
He hides it most of the time.
I assure you, I mean no harm. I will not damage you in any way.
I say that
Yes,
all
well,
in jest.
He's a funny man. Assistant. Perhaps with his admission, I understand the feeling as a similar creature myself.
But
Yeah.
have I already booked a night?
Unfortunately,
Is
the
that
only room
happening?
available is currently taken by Brend and Ranug, so it's more so that Ordwy is offering floor space. If you are looking for at least a roof over your head.
Well, I will do that. I will speak to the innkeeper or whatever passes for such.
Yeah.
And request lodging for the night.
Absolutely. Certainly, I can. I'm already going to get some pillows and blankets for Mr. Ragwin and Mr. Clock, so I will certainly bring some more over for you as well.
I do not need anything like that. I can take care of myself.
Well, you're getting them anyways.
Thank you. I do like to pretend I'm just like the rest of you.
As long as you're here, there's no need to pretend.
I see. Very, very nice.
And she will actually, probably at around this time, leave to go and get these sort of extra blankets and linens and pillows for those of you that will be taking up floor space, leaving the 5 of you as the only ones here in the Wavestone at this point of night. She mentions that she will, of course, return soon, but just sort of like walks out and leaves you guys here in her inn by yourselves.
You know
Okay.
this.
Very interesting.
It's very welcoming.
I think Rannig would make a point of like wishing you all good luck with your ruins, but that's not what he's about. He's just trying to get off this island.
My proposal still stands. If the two of you would like to leave this place, I might be able to help you. So should you consider helping me with my adventure?
That often in ruins, wealth can be acquired. And certainly in your quest to leave this place, extra means would not be amiss. Just a suggestion.
He makes a valid point.
Rannig looks uncomfortable.
Man just called you poor in the nicest way possible.
That's not why.
I did not say he was poor. I just said extra money is always good.
He is also
Rannig just
poor,
Go
but
ahead.
you know, I was going to say he is also incidentally poor, but that is secondary.
Yeah, that's not why he looks uncomfortable. He just says, "Well, I don't think the adventuring life is for me."
Curtain. You have the air of an adventurer about you, I would say.
At one time, maybe, perhaps, not anymore.
I recently joined a guild myself. I must say, adventuring is quite exciting. I would highly recommend it.
I just want to stay in the Shire and eat second breakfast all day. I'm just kidding.
Well, it is a calling of my guild to help those who are in need, so I would happily help you if you require assistance.
When you survive those ruins and come back, and if we're still here, then maybe you can help us then.
I would happily do so.
What's Jericho going to do to make us join this adventure? I'm just kidding.
Who's to say?
I mean, for how long do you have paid for the inn?
That's a good question. How long would the two of you have paid for your inn rooms?
How long have we been here?
You yourself, Ranog, have probably been here just under a week. You found Brend about 3 days ago.
And how much is a night for the room we have?
2 silver.
Oh, I've got that.
Perfect.
So I will remove. You said a week. Is it 14 silver?
I'm assuming you've already paid for the week up until now. So just if
okay.
there's any further rooms you would like to book. I'm not that stingy about making you guys spend all of your money on inn rooms.
I was like, what is this? This is the new Jericho.
The more broke they are, the more they gotta go adventuring. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll just wait outside until they want to go.
A mysterious force robbed us last night, Bryn. We gotta go.
Yes, they will surely join us, Raglan. I have no doubt. There's something special here. I can feel it.
I do actually
Feel
have...
that too.
Go ahead. Okay. I do have a question for you, Ranog. Do you have a holy symbol? And if you do, is it like worn obviously invisibly, or do you keep it hidden away?
I have a pilgrim's token, which is a religious symbol.
Okay. Do you keep that out in the open, or just like hidden away in a pocket?
You tell me. I'm wearing it, so whatever that looks like.
I'm leaving the description up to you, my good
It's
sir. Hidden? Fantastic. Fantastic. That's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Good.
After about 10-15 minutes, Ordwy does come back with linens and blankets and helps like move some of the tables out of the way so there is floor space for Click Clock assistant, Ragwin, and Krakow, all of you to sleep comfortably as a hardwood floor can be. But as she finishes helping you guys set up, she prepares to head out for the evening herself. Is there anything else any of you are in need assistance with? I will, of course, be back early in the morning to open shop back up. I'll do my best not to wake any of you at that extent, but if there's any last things you need before I retire myself for the evening, I'm happy to be of service.
Everything has been wonderful for me. Thank you for everything.
Of course.
Thank you for your hospitality.
It warms my heart that you appreciate it. It's the very least we can do for those visiting.
Might have to come here again should my adventures bring me here.
That's also the good reason. Returning business. It's hard to affect in such a small location like this most of the time, but we do our best.
That's very smart, yes.
Yes, indeed.
I should take that lesson to my guild master. Perhaps it will make more money.
I shall retire myself for the evening at this time. If you have need of anything, she'll sort of like pop open the door and point at one of the houses about 4 buildings down the road. That is where I live. You are welcome to come by and awaken me if anything occurs in the night. And she will.
Once again, thank you.
What do you mean foreshadowing?
I don't know.
I would never do such a thing.
He's far too trusting, this woman.
Yeah.
For anybody who's observant, as we get ready to turn in, Krakow will cast a cantrip to clean his outfit. Prestidigitation. He's going to use it at almost every opportunity. Got nasty stuff on him, he's going to clean himself. So,
Fantastic.
I didn't notice it.
Hmm.
Didn't really put out any spellcaster vibe up until this point.
Hmm.
The reveal that one is a spellcaster solely by cleaning with prestidigitation. The best way to reveal one is a spellcaster.
That is quite useful. Did I?
Be
That
like,
was a hit.
reveal a spellcaster or have a feat of almost any class. Have that. But anyway,
Were you trying to
for
hide
anybody
it?
who knows,
Were you trying to hide it, or is it open?
no. Mm-mm.
That's
He's not
quite
making.
useful.
He's not standing up and and waving his arms around it. You know.
It's like, wow, that is a quite useful spell. I find myself having to manually clean myself in this instant.
Yeah, he just doesn't like that. You know, it's coming out of the rain and it's nasty, and you know, he's just kind of cleaning off his ropes and stuff, making them a little drier. And
Fantastic. Does anyone have any last things they would like to do before retiring for the evening?
No.
Nothing in particular.
Nope.
Mark up.
Just tuck everyone in, give him a good night kiss.
The clock is confused by
Well,
this.
I won't be doing that.
Alrighty. Then the night begins to pass. All of you find sleep coming to you easily, resting the night away as morning rapidly approaches. Rennig,
Mm-hmm.
you awaken in the very early morning. It is still pitch dark outside, but the barest hints of sun beginning to grace the horizon as the rain has stopped and the sky has cleared. There is a feeling of urgency filling your mind at the moment, and where you have piled your gear off to the side so you could rest for the evening, that holy symbol, that token you carry with you, the half-finished sword atop an anvil, that sword has turned white as if burning.
Has this happened before?
It has not.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there anything else, or?
Nope, it has not done this before. This is just you awaken to a strange feeling and notice that part of your token is glowing.
All right. Well, he'll yawn. He'll for a moment mistake the sense of urgency as a need to empty his bladder, but he realizes it's different. It's a different kind of urgency. He sees the symbol glowing and like scrambles to his feet. And then out loud, maybe even it wakes Brand, he's like, This is odd.
Yeah, I'd say that's enough to wake Brand.
I'll kind of like scramble over to the window or whatever.
Yeah. I show him the little symbol that's glowing.
What's that? That don't happen here usually, does it?
I look at, as I'm trying to don my armor, I guess, if the urgency is that bad, I look at Brand. Does he seem to bear that same sense of urgency?
He's more just surprised by what's going on.
Yeah. still half asleep, does not seem to be feeling that. And that sense of urgency has faded slightly. It was like a lance waking you up almost, and it has faded slightly. There's a bit of unease in the pit of your stomach at the moment still, but Brend does not appear to be feeling the same thing you are.
It's sort of past now. It's not quite as urgent as it was.
Oh, well, that's good, right? Can go back to sleep.
Do I feel like sleeping?
Ooh, that is a interesting question. Let's leave it up to just a flat check, why don't we? Go ahead and give me a DC 11 flat check.
Okay.
You have the sense that while you certainly could fall asleep, there is something important going on, and if you go back to sleep, you will miss your opportunity.
All right. I shake my head and look at Brent. Maybe it's the song in my head. It begins to swirl and pulsate differently than it normally does. But at any rate, I continue putting on my armor. Like, no. There's something going on.
Have any of the rest of us woken up?
No, you two are of the three. The rest of you are still out in the main building, relatively asleep. Click Clock actually does not need to sleep nearly as long as everyone else.
Stand by for 2 hours.
Yes, which it has long been past 2 hours. So
I think he's probably pretending to sleep.
Yeah.
Wants to fit in.
you're still effectively like in a rest mode, but you are fully conscious right now.
Yeah.
But the rest of you are still asleep. This is happening in the one side room that is like an actual inn room for people to stay at. So,
Well, while I'm getting dressed or whatever, I'll be looking out the window for signs of. I guess we have a window for signs of any.
I guess you do too.
Strange goings on.
Give me a perception check. And
I love those.
Brend, I believe you looked through the window as well, so you can give me 1, 2 if you would like. Blind, please.
Can I use my ageless patience? I'm just kidding.
If you want to spend longer looking out the window. Brend, you don't notice anything in the darkness, especially with your lack of ability to see in a lack of light. Brenna, you are in a similar position to that. However, as you are sort of like putting on your greaves at the moment, just sort of raise your head and look out the window. Far across town, sort of on the far southeastern beach, you see a very brief but bright glow. Sort of like a flash of white energy.
White is good. Maybe not.
You.
All right, I'll go ahead. Sorry.
Actually, check real quick. I want to see. You do know this spell. You recognize a heal spell when you see it.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. So there's something going on down at the beaches. This beach over here.
Yep. Sort of around this area.
Okay, further down. All right. Well, whenever I get armored up.
Yeah. Takes about 5 minutes to put on your armor.
Okay. And Bren, do you need any help getting ready, or are you getting ready?
Yeah. If like you're heading out, Bren's getting ready. I mean, he's gonna go with you. So.
Yeah, I think we should. Yeah.
Considering you both look somewhat similar and both wear breastplates, is it almost mirrored how you put your armor on?
We should do that. Yes. Should be mirrored.
Synchronized armor donning.
We've worked on it for the 2 days that we've been together. That we've known each other.
Sorry?
Oh, go ahead.
I think that's a 3rd level feat.
Oh, yeah.
It's the first general feat you can take.
And then we'll.
Yeah? Are the two of
door
you...
open and...
attempting to sneak out or just walking out normally?
I don't think sneaking is appropriate here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm charging out. I'm not like, 2 arms, we're being attacked, but like
Power
making
walking.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tung, 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 tung.
Absolutely. I'll say click clock. There's no need to roll for you. You certainly immediately clock. Get it? The door being opened and these folks stepping outside, fully armored and prepared for the day ahead.
Good evening. It's quite early.
That's right. I don't know which one you are, if you're the assistant or the other one, but we're heading out down to the beach over here. There's some sort of commotion going on.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Let me gather my things. He pushes Ragwin and kicks and the other guy.
Yeah, I was actually going to say,
Krakow.
this initial conversation was enough to rouse you to consciousness, Krakow, as you hear sort of the urgent voice of Rannig. Ragwin, it takes you a moment longer for Click Clock to actually shove you a bit for you to awaken from your sleep.
Okay. If that's the case, Raquel will sit up and say, something of interest.
What's going on?
Something to trouble about. We should certainly investigate. It seems these 2 individuals are going to check it out. Let's follow them. He's picking up his tools.
Like some company?
I have no idea. But
Is there time
it's
for me
exciting.
to put on my armor?
You wear...
The same thing.
So it'd be 5 minutes if the group is willing to wait that.
Big Clock is like, I sleep in my
I got my forward cloak.
We love sorcerers, just wearing clothing for armor.
Yeah.
So it's up to you guys if you want to spend 5 minutes and let Ragwin put his armor on, or if you think it's important enough to go.
Or assistant carries Ragwin as he puts his armor on.
I'm fine with waiting the 5 minutes, but in character, Rennig's gonna run out and just be ahead, trying to at least get sight of what's going on.
No, I love the idea of assistant carrying Ragwin in front of him as you guys go. If Ragwin's okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yes, assistant will. Let's go. Yes,
Armor
assistant,
donning on the go.
please assist Ragwin.
Fantastic. Then you guys can certainly all, after grabbing just your basic equipment here, it's maybe around 4:15, 4:30 in the morning at this point. And you guys head out the front door of the Wavestone and begin making your way through the town towards that southern beach where Rennig clocked that light. Are you guys rushing over there? Do you want to take it slow and keep an eye out as you're going? What sort of haste are we taking to get there? And do we want to be doing any exploration actions as we go?
Distance to where are we headed?
I'm just following Ragwin, whatever he's doing. Rannig.
I mean, I'll
the
ask
beach
them,
across the
where are we headed? Where are
the other shore over there.
All the way around town.
Yeah.
Bring it around.
How far is it?
It is not particularly far, realistically. If we're following the roads to get there, then about half a mile.
Okay.
If you're cutting through and following the beach, that'd be a little shorter.
Do we need light? I'm okay. I've got low light vision, but
Yeah, I can't see shit.
need light here?
Your clock could use some light. No.
I have got. Oh, I thought I had a lamp. I've got the light spell.
I can produce light. I have dancing light.
Very useful.
Yeah, you guys would be in a position right now that those of you without low light or dark vision would need. light to be able to perceive where you're going. So a casting of a light spell here would actually be quite beneficial for a few of you.
Okay.
The two basic
Sounds
humans in the party.
Yep, I'll put it on me, and I'll put it on Brent
Well,
if he.
I don't think
That's a
assistant
loud
has
effect.
low light vision, so
Brent, do you want light?
I mean, I
Right,
can produce enough light for everyone.
Oh, I put it on me twice.
I'm
You
gonna
have
too much light.
What is it you're casting? Are you casting?
just a light spell.
Okay.
You can have 4 of them active at one time.
Okay. I mean, I've got dancing light, so I can throw
Very
40
interesting.
light
Dancing
spells.
light.
The dancing light spell doesn't actually exist anymore. It is just the light cantrip has most of the effect of dancing lights.
yeah.
Oh, really? Because they have dancing lights in Pathfinder in the Hero Lab.
It is a spell from pre-remastered Pathfinder 2e. Since we got the remaster, they took dancing lights and the light cantrip and just combined them into one spell.
Huh, that's interesting.
So I haven't
Okay.
checked Hero Lab in a long time, but I don't know how updated it is.
Okay.
Sounds like we got plenty of light.
Okay. I mean, if
So,
we
yeah,
don't
you-
need it, I won't put it out there because that's just more targets for somebody if it matters. But
I think Will said assistant needs light.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't be in the dark. I guess.
And in character, Rennick doesn't. He's not really worried. I mean, I'm not saying I don't love assistant and click lock, but right now he's not worried about them. He's just rushing headlong, and he knows Brend. He's giving himself light, and if Brend needs light, he'll be happy to give it to Brend, or Brend can just follow along.
okay. I mean, I'll just throw dancing lights,
Okay.
spread out.
Yeah.
I can move them around or turn.
We shall pretty easily say you guys get some lights on one another, have them traveling with you as you guys make your way down the coastline towards this issue that you noticed. So again, a question, are you guys going to rush there as quickly as possible? Are you going to take it a bit slow and sort of keep an eye out as you're going?
Oh, that's right. I'll scout.
Okay.
I'm searching.
Okay.
Well, I guess I'm investigating.
Sure.
That's a smart thing.
So, are we going too fast that I can't do avoid notice, or
No, you can absolutely do that. That is, I was effectively asking, do you guys want to haste your way there, or do you want to take it a bit slower and take exploration actions? So you can absolutely take the avoid notice exploration action. It sounds like the group is going a little bit slowly and carefully to get there.
I think that's wise. We don't know what's ahead or
Yeah.
what's going on.
And Krakow, what exploration actions are effectively just the general thing you are doing as you're traveling. The group is taking some pretty simple ones. Scout will give a bonus to initiative to the whole party. Avoid notice lets someone just generally be stealthing. Searching is making a perception check, and investigating is making a recall knowledge check just as you're going. So if there's anything in particular you would like to be doing, you are welcome to do that as well.
Well, what's between here and there? I mean, what are we traveling through? We on
you
the
are-
beach, or
That's a question. Are you guys traveling along the beach, or do you want to take the roads through town?
Well, I'm going to answer your question with a question. How easy is it to cross these rivers without the bridge?
I mean, they're not terribly deep, so you'll be going through the water, sort of splashing up to maybe about thigh height, which, you might
Probably
need, like, assistant to carry Ragwin across easily. Otherwise, he has to swim.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know. I don't imagine traveling in sand is very fast. It might actually be faster to use the road.
Yeah. You guys can certainly do that.
yeah,
So,
I'll lean towards the road.
okay. Then we've got, I believe it was Rannig searching? No, Rannig scouting. Who was, sorry. Once more,
think
who's
Bren.
doing what? We've got Click Clock investigating, Bren searching, and Ragwin avoiding notice. You guys can give me all of those relevant rolls right now for that.
Recall knowledge
Yep.
for me.
And anything in particular you would like to be doing as you guys are going? Krakow.
Now just observing, keeping an eye out for things.
Sure. That would be...
expensive stuff.
Yeah, that would be searching. So go ahead and give me a blind perception check for that.
Okay.
And Ragwin, that'll be blind stealth for you. Avoid notice is also in the basic action macros under exploration if you just wanted to roll from there.
All right.
No, that doesn't look blind. That was.
It does not. I'm so sorry.
I don't have a. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now that was actually a initiative roll.
Oh no, we've got no initiative. Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, initiative was right below the perception.
Fantastic. Everyone's sort of keeping an eye out. Ragwin doing his best to vanish into the shadows, however many exist when half of you have a magical orb of light following alongside you as you're going. But still doing a decent job. Brendan Krakow sort of keeping an eye out for anyone who might otherwise be in the darkness preparing to ambush you as sort of Click Clock just eyes moving rapidly, absorbing information about everything you're coming across, seeing what might be pertinent to the situation. And of course, Ranug just at the front, ready to shout out at the first sign of danger and protect yourselves. You guys all make your way down to the southern coast of town, making your way down the road all the way through. Generally, the town seems to be still asleep, still quiet. You do observe, Click Clock, what appears to be just a general bit of storm damage to a number of the buildings from the storm that came through last night. Nothing major, and would only need relatively simple repairs, but the town has taken a bit of a hit from that. As you are making your way over, though, Brend, you are the first one to notice two figures on the beach where you guys arrive. One of them laying like face down, actually at this point face up in the sand. The other one, a female elven woman, long white hair and a sort of green and cream colored cloak, sort of kneeling in the sand above this figure, seemingly with a number of tools sort of spread out on the sand, looking over this figure in the sand.
How far away are we from them?
Brend notices this when you guys are around 120 feet away.
Brend, what do you and I see?
He's muted.
He's gone. We lost Brend.
We lost Brend.
Oh, I was talking. Sorry. I was saying two of them kneeling. Two figures. One of them got tools. Can't say much more than that.
What would you say? Wonder what kind? Can you see what kind?
It's hard to tell that from
closer.
this distance.
Yeah. No, can't. Gonna have to get closer.
Let's move. Of course.
Yeah.
And closer we shall get.
Absolutely. As you guys get a little bit closer and begin to come across this scene, Brend and Krakow getting a bit of a better look. The figure laying down in the sand, very dead. The person leaning over them does appear to have healer's tools out and is has like cut open the shirt and is seemingly trying to examine the body right now. She is going to hear your approach. She's going to look up at all of you. And does she recognize any of you at this point? She does recommend Rennig. You've been here long enough that she recognizes you. So she's going to be guard down a little bit, but there's a look of worry on her face, and she's going to call out as you approach. Vanig, correct?
Yes, that's right. Keep coming.
Did you see anything on the way over here?
I look at the others. Did we see anything on the way over here?
Some storm damage.
I don't think
No.
we noticed anything, did we?
No.
No.
No, my lady, just some storm damage.
Fuck. Okay. All right.
Is everything all right? Is this man in danger?
Well, I would hesitate to say this man was in danger. Perhaps no longer, but well, there's not much I can do for him anymore.
Is he dead? Like for sure, for sure. Or can I get
Oh,
closer?
for sure. Yeah, as you guys approach, you see a middle-aged human man sort of sprawled in the sand. His armor seems to have been removed, but it is pitted and rusted. His body is covered in these like rust-red splotches in various places. And as she rolls over the body, you can see two piercing wounds that seem to have been infected on his upper back.
I'm gonna cast detect magic and play it around the area.
Yeah, I will say, aside from the magic of the party, which you may or may not be aware of and can ignore at this point, you do not detect any magic at the moment.
Do I recognize
I'll
this
just
injury?
take something effective. Does not appear to be any arcane effect.
That is good to know.
If you wanted to get closer and see if you could take a look at the injuries yourself, you are welcome to do so. Since you are investigating, you're trained in medicine, looking down at a quick glance. Those sort of splotches on his body, you don't know what those are.
Yeah, rust.
I mean, his armor is rusted, and by the coloration, it almost looks like he himself has been affected by rust and is rusting away. But that is flesh, not metal. So something's up.
Strange. I am familiar with rust, given my nature, but this is not normal.
However, you do notice that he is suffering from he was suffering from signs of exposure. And the wounds on his back, those two puncture wounds, at a quick glance, you are able to tell are from crossbow bolts. And definitely the wounds have been infected. With your roll, you're fairly certain there was poison at play.
This is a poison. Looks like wounds might have come from a crossbow of some kind.
Jeez.
What kind of poison causes these kinds of lesions? Rust?
The figure kneeling there will just shake her head slightly. I've got no idea. It's...
How can I get some sort of estimate of how long this guy might have been in the water? Did he wash up in the water?
No, he
He
didn't look like he washed up on the water. I came across him this morning as he was sprawled here on the ground already. I mean, there's signs of him having been in the water at some point, but it is mostly dry by the time I got here. So,
I'll do the whole medicine thing.
yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a doctor. Don't even play one on TV. But try to guesstimate how long this guy's been dead.
Absolutely.
Would you have rigor mortis going on, or
Yeah. What is your medicine modifier? Because this is going to be effectively a recall knowledge. +5?
5, yeah.
Fantastic. You're fairly certain, at best, he died this morning. He's not been dead longer than an hour.
Oh, okay. I'll touch the body. Is it air temperature at this point?
What are you attempting to figure out?
You know, when you die and your body starts to cool down, it doesn't drop down to air temperature immediately. You know, takes a while. Just again trying to get it. You know, was this maybe more recent than that? Body's still kind of warmish.
At best, you can tell it's been within an hour that he died.
You know, okay, I the best I can tell, he died recently. What time of day is it?
It's about 4:30 in the morning.
Okay, sun's not up yet.
Are there any tracks or anything?
Give me a survival check.
Can can assistant give you a survival check? He's trained.
Sure.
Yes, thank you. Okay. He's the only.
And Rennig, as this check is being made, there is one thing you specifically notice. Aside from the armor this figure is wearing, there is something clutched in their hand. A bit of metal, equally as rusted as the armor, but even clutched in his hand, you can very clearly see a metallic symbol of an anvil with a sword resting atop it.
Ah.
The same as your own symbol.
He'll just say to himself, Ziartovan.
Yeah.
Can I pry it from his hands? Or like
Easily.
pry his hand open?
Yeah, no,
I
it's-
guess he's not rigor mortified yet. I can do that.
No, it's pretty easy to just pull it out of his grasp here. It's a rusted and pitted holy symbol of Ziartovan.
Which they're not normally rusted and pitted, right? I know they're not normally rusted.
No. Very much not so.
Okay. Well, this isn't good.
Assistant, taking a quick look around, does notice, it's not difficult to find them. This figure was not trying to hide a series of like stumbling tracks leading from the beach here, sort of along the coastline off into the distance.
Tracks this way. Well, the system seems to have found something. Quite curious.
Krakow's going to look out over the water.
Mm-hmm.
If this happened relatively recently and somebody dragged him ashore and rode off in a boat, or maybe they brought him a boat, look for any sign of a vehicle out on the water. How far away are local fishing boats and things from this point?
Yeah, give me a blind perception check. Yes. I'd also say at this point, Rennig, and maybe even Bren, since you have been here a few days, would recognize this other person that's with you as Elder Johedia, who's sort of like the town's preeminent healer, and one of the members of the Elder Council.
Is she a cleric of any god or goddess?
She is not, actually. She herself is an oracle.
Oh, okay.
Twinsies.
Did you get the results of that check, Jericho?
I'm sorry?
Did you get the results of that check?
I did.
Okay.
Taking a look out over the water, you don't see any boats out on the horizon right now. All of the town's fishing boats are still pulled up to shore against the docks, tethered off. No one has gotten up and gotten out on the water as of yet. You don't see any other boats in the area not belonging to the town.
Okay.
So, Johedia will sort of taking a step back as you guys all sort of descend upon the area and begin investigating it yourself. Bit of a wry smile touches her face. I came across him perhaps 20 minutes ago, as I was out trying to assess the storm damage myself, and he was still alive when I came across him. He mentioned Iron Harbor, and I attempted to infuse him with magical energy to heal those wounds. It had no effect on him.
Indeed.
No effect of the magic.
None. He was very much fading fast, but still alive when I cast the spell.
That is quite worrying.
Did it appear to have no effect at all, or it just simply did not stop whatever?
The
possibly
magic
poison?
seemed to fail to take hold.
Interesting.
This poison somehow must have stopped the magical healing from working.
Well, I've never heard of a poison able to do that before. That's horrifying.
Yes, I haven't either, but clearly these wounds indicated poison affected him.
Me, with a dog shit medical roll on her part, she does not recognize the poison, unfortunately. So, as far as she knows, that could absolutely be true.
Does nature help with poison?
If you had, there are specific feats that allow you to use nature in place of medicine, but typically medicine is the skill you would use for this sort of thing. I would allow a nature roll, but I would do it at a higher DC than the medicine roll.
Okay. But my medicine's my nature is also a 5. You want to do it as a secret?
Sure. Yeah, I will absolutely go for that.
I need to use the bathroom.
Yes, we are about to take a break. I know it's pretty late for it.
Okay.
But I wanted to get to you guys finding the body at least here. Unfortunately, Krakow,
No.
the bolts impacted a while ago, definitely before he died by a while, and were pulled free. Whatever the poison was has already worked its way through his system, and there's not really any remnants of it left.
Okay.
As you guys are taking a look at the body here, though, and clocking the surroundings, trying to figure out what is going on, we are going to go ahead and take a break here. So stand up, stretch, grab some water, and I will see you all in just a few minutes. All right, welcome back, everyone. So,
Right here.
here we currently stand at this point, broaching sort of 4:45 in the morning. You guys have made it all the way over to this other side of town and begun your investigations, speaking with Elder Johedia and investigating the corpse of this man lying on the ground with a holy symbol of Jartavan and covered in a multitude of strange wounds. So,
Well, oh, sorry.
go ahead.
Were you finished? Okay.
I was.
No, I was gonna say, while Krakow and Click Clock or assistant, Rannick doesn't know who's who, is doing his medicine checks. Rannick is looking at the tracks, like impatiently, the tracks leading down.
Yeah.
Impatiently, like, oh, let's go look at those tracks. Let's follow those. He's not gonna say anything though, but it's his body language.
Yes, it doesn't seem we have any more leads.
So
Yeah.
tracks may be the best thing for us to follow.
Elder Johedia, hearing you say that and seeing you like chafing at the bit, looking at those tracks a little bit. Are you planning to look further into this?
We all answer at the same time, yes.
Well,
I think we should.
it's my prerogative to investigate what trouble is about. Of course.
And the fellowship is forged. Well,
Now, before we go romping off down the beach, I'm going to transfer my attention to the corpse, what he's wearing. What does it look like he's wearing? Uniform? Any
rusted
sort of
armor.
technology? But I mean, certain type of soldier's armor,
A general,
anything that may be linked to some geographic region or government.
it is generally a breastplate that he is wearing at the moment. It does have, notably, the symbol of Jartavan is embossed on the breastplate as well. There's no sign of any government or anything like that that could help you identify where it comes from, though. Who here
Quality.
is trained in crafting?
I am.
Me,
Primarily.
inventor.
Go ahead, anyone who is trained and would like to, give me a crafting check.
Hell yeah. Open.
Public, yep, that's all good for this.
Nice.
Ooh, that was a nice one.
Yeah.
Your dice even look like what's the word? Steampunk.
Yeah, it's as a goal.
I like it.
I'll just do a visible perception on that one because it's same number. I'm not trying to get to the. That's so 11.
Okay, fantastic. Taking a look at the armor, it looks to be just a generally well-forged breastplate to you, Krakow. At this point, though, beyond the point of repair from the rust covering it, Click Clock, there's something else you notice about it, though. Where the symbol of Zyartavan is embossed, you see signs of effectively the metal having been flattened prior to that, before the embossing was done, as if there was perhaps some other insignia or embossing there originally that was hammered out, and then the symbol of Zyartavan hammered into it.
I do not know much about this deity or whatever, but it seems it's a convert. His armor used to bear different insignia before it was modified, forged. Nevertheless, does your deity or whoever have converts, or what kind of individual would this be, perhaps, if you recognize such symbol?
Are you talking to Johedia?
Did Ranog act like he knew what was going on, or no?
No, his beliefs are his own.
Oh, he didn't say it out loud.
Yeah, he
okay, in
keeps
that case-
he keeps his religious symbol hidden.
I believe
Okay,
at this
yeah, okay.
point, Brand would be the only one who has seen his holy symbol.
Oh, okay. Then I would have said that to Brand.
It's sorry. Was it mentioned which holy symbol it was? It was cutting out for me a little bit because of the storm.
It is the holy symbol of Zyartavan. It is the appearance of an anvil with a half-finished blade atop of it. You can give me a religion check as a recall knowledge if you would like.
Oh boy.
All of your training.
I'll aid you on it. I'm just kidding.
I am great at that. Recall. No,
I believe in you.
I believe
somebody has to.
I guess.
Yeah.
We don't know.
There it goes.
There's always a 20.
Yeah, by Jericho's stunned silence, it must have been a great roll.
You have heard the name Zyrtavon. You are not the most familiar with the sort of religious adjustments that the pantheons have undergone in the last year for the most part, but you do know that Zyrtavon is one of the primary faiths that worshippers of Gorum have switched to following Gorum's demise.
One of the gods, not that much is clear, right? But Gorum worshippers go to him now that they don't got a god of their own. As I'll say, as he says that, he winces just the slightest bit.
Aw.
I don't know these human movements. Let us proceed. No, I'm kidding.
Point being, if he worships that god, are we all, we're aware the other place worships a different god? Question mark.
Iron
on this
Harbor.
island? Yeah.
That is, I'd say that's generally enough common knowledge, especially since you've been here a couple days, if it got brought up in conversation, that Iron Harbor primarily worshipped Gorum. No one really knows what their current situation is because Osprey Cove and Iron Harbor are not on good terms.
Yeah. If there's a settlement and there used to be Gorum worshippers, odds are good this is one they'd go for.
He did mutter the name of Iron Harbor as he was passing. He seemed to want to say more, but his strength failed him, my magic failed to take effect, and he passed before he could say anything else.
So he's from Iron Harbor. He must be. Is there some sort of warning he was trying to...
Or he was attacked by someone from Iron Harbor.
Well, that is unfortunate.
This thing he had in his hand.
He had a holy symbol in his hand, which Click-Clock pulled out, I believe.
And
Or
which
was it,
one was it? Or which one was it for?
Zyrtavon.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it seems like there might be some individuals from Iron Harbor that now converted or moved on, I suppose, to worship Zyrtavon. Perhaps they would have more information. I mean, I intend to explore Iron Harbor anyway. They might have more rumors about the ruins I seek. Perhaps we should head that direction.
I like the way you think, Assistant or Cluck. Cluck.
Yes, well, assistant is a name of affection. It does not bother me.
May I see that? May I see that religious symbol that he had?
Whoever's holding it.
I mean, perhaps.
Yeah, I'll pass it over.
Perhaps he was trying to tell us to take this to Iron Harbor. Someone to take it to Iron Harbor.
Yeah, it gets
I'll
passed over
take
to
a
you.
look at it.
Mm-hmm. It is rusted and
It's no
pitted.
wood.
It is just a piece of iron, though, it seems.
Nothing, didn't give off any magic earlier.
Nope.
It might have detect metal on it. See if I get like a critically cool
Yeah. It
roll.
is with Detect Metal. A fun little spell. Unfortunately, Detect Metal at a low rank like this really only tells you the presence of metal around you. And you can ignore everything you are aware of, so everything that's on each person, this holy symbol, the corpse, and
Or
you can
is
still
he a
ping it.
person?
Right. I'm basically looking for that item and at the corpse. See if there's any metal we don't see.
Yeah.
Maybe you can hold a clue. Or there's the head of one of those crossbow bolts off inside or something.
You unfortunately do not detect any metal that you are not already aware of. So it seems, aside from the holy symbol and the armor he had, he truly wasn't carrying anything else with him. There's no weapon. The crossbow bolt heads are not stuck in his injuries. He is truly just on his own.
Right.
Seems likely he came from Iron
Okay.
Harbor.
Well, perhaps following these tracks is our
Yes.
next move.
I like the way you think, Krakow.
If you are all planning to head that direction towards Iron Harbor, whether these tracks go all that way or not, might I ask that we send one of the elders with you? It's been, frankly, far too long since we had any relations with our sister town, and it's as good a time as any as attempt to rekindle a positive relationship between the two.
Well, yes, of
I
course.
would
If we can-
certainly.
If we can help rekindle the relationship, I would love to assist.
Of course.
Yeah.
How long would it take for the elder to get ready? It is like the wee hours.
It is quite early. Let's see. You all are, I assume, stayed at the Wavestone while you were here, so you're already familiar with Elder Ordwe. I figure I'll ask her to be the one to go. So I'll need to send a missive, wake her up, and, I mean, should probably take no longer than an hour, hour and a half for her to prepare herself and get ready for this journey.
I suppose it can't be helped.
I would appreciate it. If you are insistent on following this now, I, of course, will not stop you. I'm grateful that you all are willing to look into this, but if you are willing to wait and help, I would appreciate, or sort of escort, take with you Elder Ordwe. I'd be appreciative of it.
Well, I would certainly.
I gather facts and such can disappear relatively quickly. So perhaps we can at least begin the following of them. See how far they go before we lose them, if anything. And we can have either someone remain behind to escort the elder, or if the tracks peter out or we lose it, we can wait until they catch
We
up.
could just wait.
Right now, the weather's relatively clear, and the tracks aren't super close to the water line, so outside of, like, a freak storm coming in, the tracks shouldn't really vanish all that quickly, at least not in the amount of time an hour and a half would change things. So,
Okay.
you certainly
I'm-
can start following them if you
I'm
wanted.
no expert in such things.
Who do we have that's good in survival? That is a good question.
Assistant.
None of you. Assistant.
And that's why I got Wonder Gears, because I realized nobody has survival. So
Yes.
assistant has survival.
Normally, companions cannot particularly take exploration actions, but
Yeah.
since assistant is the only one trained in survival, I will allow.
Yeah, like my exploration activity is that one.
Yeah. Your exploration activity is just constantly commanding assistant to track.
Yes, follow that track over there.
Yes, yes.
Well done, well done,
search,
assistant.
search some more, search, track, keep tracking, keep tracking.
Yeah.
I love it the whole time.
Well, if you guys are willing to wait a little bit, then is there anything you would like to do in that hour and a half or so? Elder Johedia is going to quickly get up, pack up her tools real quick and head back into town to go wake and alert Elder Ordway, and probably the other elders to the situation as well. So you guys have a bit of time here, still very early morning, with this body and the general area, if there were other things you wish to do in this time.
You didn't take that damn body?
She didn't yet. She's planning to probably after you guys head out.
All right, we'll just hang around the dead body for an hour and a half.
Surely anyone who wakes up and walks outside and sees you guys like that is going to get the right impression.
He was already like
around
this.
menacingly.
Branagh will just pace impatiently with a troubled look on his features.
Sure. I will note to you, I don't know if you check it at all, but your holy symbol, your token, the color will have faded from by now. It is back to normal.
I need to go take a piss, and I'll go behind this house and pull it out and look at it.
Yeah.
The holy symbol.
Take a piss.
It is back to normal how it usually is. That feeling of unease in the pit of your stomach has also vanished. Perhaps there's a regular feeling of unease there now, but whatever it was that woke you up has fully passed.
The waiting, just all the waiting.
How long does the piss normally take, Ragwin? Usually, you're pretty quick.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, it hasn't gone in a while.
Yes, well, it has been an interesting morning, no doubt.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. No! Bren did let me know he has a pretty gnarly storm going on right now that might cut his power at any point, so...
Oh.
Oh,
That thing.
We're hopeful it'll come back.
yeah, hopefully.
Please, Brent, please. What message does he send to us? In our time of greatest need. Oh no. The power has cut.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
And he blames Ranog's piss. Fantastic.
Oh, no.
I don't know what to do with that information. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have things they would like to do during this hour and a half or so in the morning?
I'm just pissing.
For the whole 90 minutes?
Come back eventually. Oh, that
gonna go
my
back.
bladder was so full.
So I'm gonna go back to the inn and get my bedroll and get my stuff back up.
Yeah, certainly.
That's actually a good idea.
I guess I probably left some stuff behind, so, yeah.
Yeah, you guys can briefly head back to the inn. Is anyone staying with the corpse as you do so, or are you all making your way back to the inn, grabbing your stuff simultaneously?
Did the elder say anything
Don't say it
about
like
it?
that.
Yeah. Did the elder? She left, didn't she?
She did. Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you
she
what.
went to go wake Ordway and the other elders and let them know of the situation while you guys were staying here effectively. She didn't confirm anything with you guys about the fact that she was, like, asking you to stay with the body.
Well, since you said it so ominously, Brend or I can go back and get the other one's stuff while the other one stays.
Sure, we can
with
use
the body.
Brend as a scapegoat since he's gone.
Oh, here we go. 1, I get it. 2, he gets it. Okay, I'll go get it. He can stay here.
Fantastic.
The scapegoat plan to begin with. Okay, good.
Brend is gone, so I can kill his character with impunity. Well, the rest of you go get your shit.
Tragic.
Miss the meeting, get killed.
Unfortunate for him.
We let him know we left his body. Oh, you're telling him. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
We voted. You can just stay with the dead body.
Wait a minute. If he died, can we loot his body?
Of course.
Guess
No,
what
not
he's got?
Not
Breastplate.
He's
I think he
non-magical
said everything he
breastplate.
has is rusted.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. It's been in the salt water.
No, I was talking about the player character.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his stuff is also rusted.
It's not nearly as like badly rusted as this corpse here, but his stuff has rust as well. He himself
Really?
does not have rust spots on him, though.
Right. So I have a question.
I have an answer.
It's mostly for Ragwin. We've had people looking at bodies. We've had people pacing around. What has Ragwin been doing? Has he been picking pockets?
Just been like staring at everybody doing things since I can't really help right now with like a dead body.
All right. You're not
Ragwin,
suspicious.
you haven't done the one thing you're supposed to as a rogue and check his pockets yet. Come on, man. Get it together.
All right, I'll check the pockets if anyone is not looking.
Good luck. We're all staring at that body.
Well, no, you're off pissing.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant during. Yeah, I'm pissing now.
No, there's nothing in his pockets.
Yeah.
I assume that was something already looked through like by Elder Johedia before you guys got here.
Oh, she's the rogue.
Exactly, yeah.
Why do you think I cast that detect metal?
Gotta find what coin he has.
She was laden with coins. She was like jingling as she walked away. Ching, ching.
She had 2 coin purses for some reason. Why would that be?
I wonder.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Well,
All right. If you guys want to simply head back, pick up your stuff, and then return and wait, certainly. About an hour and a half passes, bringing you guys to a little after 6 in the morning. Still pretty darn early, but definitely at a point where in a fishing village such as this, many of the people are beginning to get up. As you guys are sort of standing by waiting, some of you definitely more impatient than others, Elder Johedia returns with Elder Ordwy as well, and the 3 other elders of the town that you all may or may not have seen in your time period here. All of them generally relative human or elven in nature. One of them appears to be a Triton, much more like blue skin, scales, gills, all that jazz. I guess there is a dwarf as well in Elder Bonel. So a pretty eclectic mixture of peoples making up the head honchos of this town. But they all definitely arrive to begin looking over the body and figuring out the situation. Go ahead. Someone saying something there?
I think it was you. I think it was your feedback.
Spooky. Elder Ordwy sort of heads up to you guys as the rest of the elders are taking stock of the situation. Well, fancy meeting you all again this morning. I was informed of the situation and, well, I don't know where these tracks will lead, but I am theoretically following you all back, or going with you until we reach Iron Harbor, perhaps beyond where the tracks go. I am going to attempt to set up diplomatic ties with them once more.
Yes,
Wait.
Wonderful to have you along.
It will be wonderful to have you all along as well. She is actually dressed in like very clear adventuring clothes right now. I can actually go ahead. I have some art to show you guys of her. This is Elder Ordwy. She has a rapier at her hip, and very clearly held on a necklace around her neck is the holy symbol of Caden Kalian. Makes sense. She runs the bar.
You seem well prepared for adventure.
Well, I don't want to gloat, but I did, in my younger days, do a spot of adventuring. Joined up a small party on the western coast of Verisia, and then just we went our separate ways. I found myself traveling up here and opened up the pub.
Virisia. Whereabouts in Virisia?
Generally in the area of Magnamar, we headed up northwards towards Riddleport, and that's around where we disbanded. I ended up catching a boat in this direction, and well, the rest is history.
My guild is in Sandpoint. So I'm
Oh,
somewhat familiar
of
with
course.
every-
Yes, we spent quite a while in Sandpoint. Being so close to Magmar, we stopped by there quite a number of times when we were just sort of exploring the region a bit. So I, well, know how to handle the blade, but I haven't in quite a number of years, so do forgive me if I'm not the most proficient with it at the moment. I do have a decent amount of magic at my disposal. I can help ensure your wounds are taken care of, should such a thing occur, of course.
Yeah.
Theoretically, the Kindred Coast should be safe, but considering the situation, I find it better safe than sorry right now.
Indeed.
You're very welcome to join us. The more the merrier. Yes. This is exciting. I've never had a full adventuring party before. This is very interesting.
My party
Here, let's proceed.
was much smaller, so this is the first time I've traveled with such a large group.
First for all of us, it seems. Let us proceed. Assistant, follow the tracks.
This is all grand. I'm like yelling over Flicklock as he's, every 6 seconds yelling it.
Right.
This is all grand. Can we get a start on it now?
Let's go. Fantastic. Well, if you guys are going to be doing your best to follow the tracks here, that is going to be a track roll from assistant, effectively as Clock's exploration activity. I am going to allow anyone who would like to focus their exploration activity on aiding assistant here is welcome to do so. I'm not going to require training to do that.
But still rolling survival.
Yes, it'll still be survival, which means
Somebody with good wisdom.
if you've got a good wisdom, you might have a decent shot at it.
Yeah, I shall scout. I'll scout.
Yeah, our full charisma party. What are y'all doing? Goodness, is +2 the highest wisdom in the party? That's a little scary. So mildly mortifying.
Spaghetti-O.
Krakow's got a +2. Clock has a +2. Uh-oh.
Well, I can't. I'm doing my thing. I can't aid myself. Right?
You cannot aid yourself, no.
All right.
We're looking at a flat survival check from you, please.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, what was almost a 20 on mine?
Think I could hero point that?
Absolutely. This is a simple exploration activity. You certainly can hero point that.
All right. Let's do it.
Look, are you sure he's going the right way?
Right.
Yeah, so let's do that way.
You're getting off track. There you go. That's it.
Yeah, as you guys start off, a couple tracks in, assistant turns and immediately begins following them towards the corpse. You guys have to be like, wait, no. Turn him around slightly, and then he begins following the regular tracks down the coastline slightly. It is quite a distance you guys are going to be traveling, especially taking exploration actions. You are looking at the better part of the day here is going to be on the move. Especially the early hours of the morning as you all make your way down the coastline. It actually isn't terribly far along the coast, maybe about a mile or so before the tracks actually head up directly onto the path. If you're taking a look here, you will notice that the coastline only goes to about here, and from there it heads up and becomes more cliff than anything else. Not terribly high above the water, but still a bit of a distance. So it does seem like this individual followed the road for quite a while and then sort of left the road and followed the edge of the coast before collapsing in the sand.
I don't know how long he was injured. I've traveled this far.
A decent while. But fuck off,
I
Nat.
wonder why. Okay.
Sorry.
I wonder why he left the road.
I wonder.
We can place all the blame for his death on the people who live here not answering their door at 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
How lame.
Freaking unhospitable.
Well, as long as he wasn't a chicken crossing the road. But that question still hasn't.
True.
Wait, are there chicken tracks now?
There are not.
Oh, okay.
Just man tracks.
Yes, man.
But as you guys follow along the edge, it's rocky coastline that you guys are traveling along. Shrubbery and greenery sort of following along this old road that in most places is actually fully grown over, and only here and there you come across old paving stones that have not been completely worn over with the grasses and greenery. But following generally quite a distance southwards, as you all are going. It's a strange dichotomy, right? Because as the morning progresses, it's a beautiful day out. Clear skies, the ocean is blue and shining with the sunlight. It's really fucking nice out. But you are following the tracks of a dead man. So, how much can you really enjoy the day walking down this road when you know what you are searching out for?
Mm-hmm.
Think on that.
Yeah, I'm so distraught.
Very.
You seem it.
Trouble.
Brannick has seen his fair share of dead men. He's probably killed a few himself.
Well, as you guys are traveling, is there anything in particular, aside from general exploration actions, other conversations or anything people would like to do as you are traveling for the first few hours of the day here? Probably right up until around noon.
How are we going to have conversations with click-cluck barking
Yes.
orders every 6 seconds?
Yes, continue. You're doing great, assistant.
Yeah, I imagine
that
I'd
would
have
be
really
awful.
hard self-coverage.
See, Krakow will be speaking with the elder. Just
Sure.
picking her brain about the area.
Yeah, absolutely.
About recent history, what's going on. She's heard anything about possible ruins, old wars, ancient conflicts.
Yeah.
She then again, general information to pick up.
Are you trained in diplomacy, real quick?
Yes, I am. I have a 6.
Fantastic. She's generally happy to chat with you as you guys are going. Just a bit more about the history of the area. She shares with you the historical names of the siblings who founded Osprey Cove and Iron Harbor. Their names are Santwi and Dartonius. Fantastic names.
Absolutely.
Is that Dartanius? Sorry, it's an extra A there. Who the fuck wrote this name? But, they actually founded Osprey Cove together. That was the original town that was founded. It was meant to be a retreat for people escaping from Riddleport and other regions trying to hide away and start new lives. But Dartanius wanted to get revenge on the crime lords of Riddleport, those who had imprisoned him and his followers for so long, forced them into doing a number of activities that they were uncomfortable with doing. And, this sort of split occurred because Santwi was like, no, let's just stay and fish and live comfortable lives outside of all the politicking and danger. And Dartanius was going, no, we need revenge. We need to build a navy and get back at those who have wounded us for so long. And that is what eventually led to the split. Dartanius took his followers pretty far down the coast and founded Iron Harbor. And for a while, there was still decent cooperation between the two towns. They actually worked to build the road between them, but that very quickly fell apart as relations continued to sour. Each town established separate trade with the different villages and islands here in the archipelago, get a trickle of newcomers here and there from people just looking to escape their current lives and find somewhere new. It's effectively just like almost a cold war between the two settlements right now, just this long lasting feud between them that at this point the original founders of them, Dartanius and Santui, are long dead and gone, but the feud has just continued ever since. So Ordwe does reach a point in the conversation where she draws in breath like she's about to almost go on a rant about something, but then actively stops herself and quiets down and sort of like shakes her head a little bit. And just sort of at that point begins to look over the coastline and out to sea and goes silent a bit.
Oh, in the spirit of friendly conversation, small prompter of you saying?
It's nothing. It's, you
An
know,
old wound, perhaps?
no. It's more, town issues, leadership and that sort of thing, and dealing with the political scene. It's terribly boring and certainly nothing you need to worry about.
No, I fully understand.
So,
Famous last words.
right? Arrow comes out of nowhere.
Between academics is one to behold. But I won't go into it.
Certainly.
Nothing compared to small town politics.
Fair. Fair. She does seem
Okay.
relatively uninterested in talking about it right now, though. Perhaps later, but to an extent, you guys are still relative strangers with one another.
Yeah.
It definitely, for her, is weird to start talking about politics with visitors to town.
At some point, I'll do a discreet detect magic
Sure.
to, and just scan the part, everybody in the, just to get a feel for, what's going on there,
Yeah.
and of course, especially on her, 'cause I've already
Mhm.
seen what everybody else had. She's new, just to get a feel for.
Yeah.
research.
Detect magic at low rank is hilarious because it will do nothing more or less than tell you the presence of magic in the area. Aware of generally all of the magic people have. Like things like healing potions are easy to notice on someone's belt unless they are actively trying to hide them. You do clock that Elder Ordwe does seem to have a few healing potions on her person. Other than that, though, you do not detect any magic.
No magic rapier, but
Nope.
rapier.
She's not that cool.
Okay.
But that is actually, on the topic of detect magic, that is an exploration action you could be doing. It's just constantly casting detect magic to see if magic does come into the area. That is certainly something you could be doing.
Since it's only got a 30-foot emanation,
Yep.
unless I have a reason, free for everything and crap, and I
Fair.
can plan that. Do it. Yeah.
All-
Not he'd get bored to tears doing that all.
Sure. All good. I will say, around probably 2 hours into the trip, so around 8:30 or so in the morning as you guys are going, when there's a bit of a lull in the conversation between you and Elder Ordwy. She is going to think of something, and her expression will brighten. Oh, everyone, stop for a moment, if you will, please. Just something came to mind. I completely forgot about this since we were relatively interested in leaving quickly, but the elders and I spoke about it, and since you are doing a service for the town in this way, both investigating this man's death and helping escort me to Iron Harbor, we found it only right that you should be paid for your services. So she'll pull out a few coin purses and start handing them out to each person if they take them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I help for help's sake, of course, but the funds are tight. Money is very useful.
Completely understand, and I believe if I heard correctly last night, you were interested in a boat out of here, off the island. This
Yes.
should certainly be more than enough to charter you a course somewhere. As she hands each of you 10 gold pieces.
I, of course, will not count it in front of her.
Fair. But she will go ahead and give everyone 10 gold here.
I'll go take a piss and count it while I'm missing.
Yeah, it's, they're all the same size. They all sound the same. There's no silver or anything. It is just a full, small bag of 10 gold pieces for each of you.
Yes,
that she gives.
Certainly does pay fairly well, doesn't it?
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you, Elder Ordwy.
Please, just call me Ordwy.
Ordwy.
Yeah, titles are unnecessary if we're journeying together like this. It's stuffy.
Yeah.
Who needs that?
We're all adventurers. We understand.
Of course. Of course.
Indeed.
Yes, stay on track.
Okay. And as the morning passes on, probably an hour or so after Ordwy offers to pay you all, the tracks do vanish. You reach a point where, based off of Assistance's survival roll, you're able to gather this is probably, around the time, based off of how he might have been moving, that the storm stopped last night. So up until this point, he was moving in the storm, and the storm was probably messing with the tracks he was leaving behind, washing them away and whatnot. But after that, the storm definitely abated, and that is why there were much clearer tracks up to where he found his corpse. And so at this point, you are on the road. You've been following the road for the last 2 hours, but there are no more easily discernible tracks to follow.
Have we learned, or do we think we've learned anything at all from the track about the nature of it? I mean, was it a god person, someone wearing boots, big, small, anything of interest?
And we know exactly who was leaving the tracks. It was the guy that died, right?
It looks like the guy who died. They're about the size of the boots he was wearing. It's definitely the sign of someone who's limp running, who's heavily injured but trying to drag themselves forward as fast as they can.
No other tracks. We haven't been any overlapping tracks or signs of a pursuer or anything. So he probably got injured, staggered down the thing. How many hours has it taken us to?
You're about 3 hours into your journey at this point when the tracks finally disappear, and up until now, you've seen no overlapping tracks.
And we're going pretty much towards Iron Harbor.
At this point, yeah, you're just kind of following the road down the Kindred coast towards Iron Harbor.
So the tracks have just immediately stopped, yeah?
They've petered out
Faded.
as the storm would have gradually abated. It's not a clear tracks and then 1 foot later, hard stop of no more tracks. It is a gradual reduction in the clearness of the tracks until you reach a point where they're just not easily followed anymore.
I traveled
We
such
come across
this
any
far.
crossbow?
I'm sorry?
We come across any crossbow bolts? Like he pulled them out and
Not so
No?
far, no. It's very strange.
He traveled quite far in such condition. He must have had good reason to do so.
well, if he started on for 3 hours with crossbow bolt, wounds and poison,
Russ,
stud.
Man was struggling for his life.
I think we have no choice but to continue to Iron Harbor.
I think so as well.
I
At this
agree.
point, we're only about 2-3 hours away from Kindred Crossing, which marks the halfway point, where the sort of peninsula turns and begins heading back northeast towards the harbor. So, relatively close to the general halfway point. You don't happen to have any building supplies or anything on you at the moment, Mr. Clock, do you?
Building supplies. What do you mean?
Fishing?
Like what kind of supplies?
Things like wooden planks and the like. There was a bridge at Kindred Crossing, hence the name, that was built between us and Iron Harbor long ago, but I mean, no one's used it in probably a few centuries at this point, so I can't imagine it's in good condition.
I mean, my immediate thought is probably not. But like,
You
maybe.
probably don't have the planks of wood for a bridge with you, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, unfortunately, I do not have the capacity to carry a bridge with me. But perhaps we
Shame.
could find some wood nearby and chop down a tree or two. Perhaps we
Well,
could
there
repair
are
the bridge.
a few scraggly trees here and there that I don't think there are many near the crossing, but we can check as we go.
Well, if it's a small like thing we have to cross, we could use this.
Yeah, as you describe the effects of the ladder, she'll look at you a bit in surprise. It's been a while since I was there, but I don't think the bridge was much longer than 15 feet, so that could certainly work. Yes.
Raccoon's marvelous expanding ladder. Yes,
That-
one of his greatest features.
That is quite marvelous. Yes, that's wonderful. That would resolve the issue quite easily.
I'm glad I bought that.
It's random. I love it.
First skill
agree.
challenge I have for the campaign immediately made useless by starting equipment. God, I love Pathfinder.
Raglan's full of surprises. I tell you, it's quite useful.
That's awesome. I love that. Nice.
Well, I'm sure we have that 10-foot pole. We can just strap a few of them together.
That is certainly something as well. But as you guys continue on, after another 2 hours or so, so a little after 11 in the morning, you guys do reach the general area that is what the locals call Kindred Crossing. As you approach, the road actually does begin to become more obvious. The old paving stones definitely becoming a bit more prevalent, the amount of greenery and grass heavily reducing as you are heading towards a relatively short, sort of rocky peninsula. There is this, pretty steep, weather-worn ridge rising adjacent to the path. So you've got this ridge on one side, and then you've got the ocean on the other side. It's about a 15-foot drop down to the water up ahead where the bridge is. Right now, you're relatively low, close to the water, maybe only 5-7 feet above water level, so you could jump in pretty easily. As you are approaching, though, near the peninsula's tip and before the bridge, you can see the road sort of reaches a cleft in the shoreline, and there is the remains of an old and incomplete wooden bridge. Nearby, a boat.
Wow.
A rowboat. A wrecked
over
rowboat.
Oh.
Wait, what's his name? Look over there, Brent. A boat. Perhaps you may take interest. No, I'm just kidding.
How far away is it? from where
Well,
we
at
are?
this point, you guys are not particularly far away at all. As you can generally see, the boat's right about here, which is, at this point, like 25, 30 feet. You can see the road ahead of you where the bridge is blocked and where it begins to curve around. Who is taking the seek exploration action at this point in time, if anyone?
Scouting. I think Brand was.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I will.
What is the speak action?
If not, I'll do it.
Seek is what allows you to be making a perception check as you guys are traveling.
That's what Krakow would be doing.
Sure.
What's specific.
Absolutely.
Since the tracks faded, I assume I could change to like investigate.
Yeah, certainly.
Music to my ears.
I'll make a.
Did anyone seek? I'm not sure.
We do have 2 people seeking here.
Okay.
So Krakow, if you would like to roll that blind perception, you are more than welcome to. Are you going to be sticking with avoid notice then, Ragwin?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll that for me if you don't mind. Okay. Fantastic. Ragwin, unfortunately, everyone sees you. It's a little hard, especially early in the journey when you're trying to stick to the shadows in morning sunlight when there aren't a ton of shadows in the area. And normally, in that sort of situation, you might hide behind assistance bulk a little bit. But every time Click Clock yells track and attention is drawn to it, everyone inadvertently looks at you slightly. Even when he ends up quieting down to focus a bit more, there's just not particularly much cover, and you aren't particularly great at hiding yourself at this point in time.
Gotcha.
Really good at hiding, isn't he?
So good. Fantastic. Click Clock keeping a lookout. Brend and Krakow, both of you sort of keeping an actual lookout, checking for anything that might be dangerous. There is something that catches your attention. And that is the rowboat.
Oh.
Currently capsized, pretty freshly wrecked it looks like. Upside down, partially amidst the tide pools along the shore. There is damage to the hull, and you can see something inside of it. Something large.
Auto loot. Oh,
Large. Uh-oh.
examine it. Large and living, large and metal, large.
It's hard to tell from this distance. It is simply something large. Because you're only seeing, like, through the holes in the rowboat, just parts of it. You see a couple different colors. You see a sort of cream color, and you see a, like, dark, deep blue, and a much brighter red.
Colors. Man, Click Clock's gonna hold a potion in one hand.
What
Why are you holding that potion?
But it's just, you never know when the terrible things will go down. I would say Click-Clock's probably been holding that potion in his hand literally the whole time. Actually.
Always prepared.
You must always be prepared.
Krakow will approach the rowboat.
Yeah.
I suppose it's safe to continue.
Yes. Assistant, yes. Go with Krakow. We don't want to, just in case there's
It
something
doesn't
in
look
there.
like a gazebo, does it?
Yeah. Well, as you
Nobody-
guys, oh, go ahead.
Did nobody got that down?
What?
Looks like a gazebo.
Did nobody what?
Gazebo?
It doesn't look like a gazebo.
Oh, keep.
No.
Oh, yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh,
How
man.
dare you?
Somebody
No.
have a ceremony
That
in the
old,
gazebo?
old DM joke where parties approaching and the DM says, "Oh, gazebo," and everybody prepares spells and pulls out swords and attacks the gazebo.
Oh.
They all thought it was,
Oh, okay.
like,
Oh.
irrelevant. Carry on.
I get it.
Do
I'm
you-
just not laughing.
Do you guys share with us that there's something in there? Because nobody's seen it but you two, I think.
That's sort of up to you right now,
Well, I'll
Krakow.
say, yeah. Oh, look, an item of interest.
Yeah. Click Clock, you are actually trained in nature.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I don't give a shit about your nature training because this is occultism based.
Oh, I'm better at that.
Oh, I had that too.
We've got Click Clock investigating actively, so that's what we are resolving right here. This being pointed out to you, you think pretty rapidly. Wrecked rowboat, tide pool, something decently large, sort of like a tan, a blue, and a red in coloration underneath it. There is a creature that comes to mind to you, Click Clock. Specifically, a type of aquatic aberration known as a reef claw. And they are quite territorial.
I think I read about something like this in the library. I don't fucking. What is that? What? A reef claw?
Yes. Reef claw. They're sort of like huge shrimp or lobsters almost. They have oversized claws and the ability to inject a potent venom.
There's a reef claw, I think, under there. It's very venomous. I wonder if perhaps this is what the man encountered on his way out.
Should we try to sneak around it, or will that work?
We can certainly try. They are very territorial. We should best avoid it, or perhaps prepare ourselves for confrontation.
Yeah. Probably if you guys don't go to investigate the boat, like don't approach it, it probably won't react to you if you just like stick to the path. If you approach the boat, though, there's probably a decent likelihood it's going to get mad.
Well, hear me out. I'm thinking. I don't know how that man would have been able to cross over the bridge, as destroyed as it is. This boat might have been where he came from. It's possible he did not come from Iron Harbor, that this boat could be from who knows where. We should probably check it out.
Does the rest of you agree?
I agree. How
take out my weapons and I-
how far away is the thing right now?
From your group, generally in the realm of 30 feet. You specifically from it would be closer to 50 feet.
Well, shall we do this, and I can see if we can entice this creature out?
Leave that to me. I'll start performing for it. I'll start dancing and gyrating.
You know what? I think that's the perfect word. I don't want to unpack that any further. And I think this is a perfect time to do so anyway, as you all seems that you are deciding to try and deal with the reef claw and examine this rowboat a bit further. That is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
Aw.
The gyrating.
The gyrating.
Hey, will that let me roll performance for initiative?
Yes.
Oh,
That's much better than freaking wisdom perception. Okay.
But thank you all so much for playing. I do hope you
Thank you.
enjoyed. Unfortunately, with our friend who lost internet about half an hour ago, we hold them in our hearts. Hope for the best. But
that's too bad.
I know. It has been an absolute blast having you all, and I look forward to the continuation of this game.
Yeah, it's been great.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks
Well,
for
thank
running.
you.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
same bad time, same bad channel.
Yep. Have a great rest of
Yeah.
your week, everyone, and I'll see you next week.